What's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another video on the channel where today we are back with another Q&A on zombies. So if you enjoyed today's video, as always, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel, and also click the notification icon next to it as well. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. Here we go. So first off, I just want to say I think my next couple of videos on the channel are going to be some top 5s on World War II zombies. But since the final Reich has released, there's really not too much content to make on it. Compared to Treyarch zombies in their first maps, Transit maybe not so much, but definitely Shadows of Evil, there was a lot more content to cover, whereas World War II zombies, pretty much everything is done. There's not really any side Easter eggs, ciphers, or anything like that that we can solve. And so because of that, there's not much content for me to make on it. And so as you see, we're doing some more Q&As, and then some top 5s on World War II, to just fill in the space until we get to DLC 1 in January, because it's a very long time away. But then of course, not too long after January, we should be getting some little rumours about Treyarch's next COD, so at least that's exciting. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you guys in about what's going on. However, let's get into it. So as I'm pretty sure you will know, with these Q&As, gradually we've kind of gone off zombies a little bit. And not only am I answering questions on zombies, but also kind of on the campaign side of Treyarch's games, especially Black Ops, because one, they're very interesting, and two, the campaign does have some references to zombies. And that brings me on to my first question of today from It's Moo Moo Cat, and he or she says, why is Woodsen Masons' name in Nuketown? So if you go into Nuketown, and actually I believe you can see this on Nuketown 2025 as well, but in the original, as we know, we have two houses. There is the green one and the yellow one, and each house has its own letterbox, which has the names of both Woods and Mason on them. And that then brings up the question as to why this is there. Why are their names in Nuketown? Did they used to live here? Were they neighbours? Well, we know that the map Nuketown is clearly based off a 1950s US suburb, and it was used to demonstrate the effects of a nuclear weapon on a residential area. That is very clear. We can see this whole town is filled with mannequins meant to represent people living here. There are vehicles, buildings. So this was clearly a town that was built by the US to demonstrate what would happen to a town in America if a nuclear weapon was to go off here. This place was used for testing. I don't think anyone actually lived here. However, saying that, we do know in the zombie storyline, Malton was hiding in the bunker, which leaves you to ask the question, how on earth would Malton first off get onto this nuclear site, and second, how did he get inside of the bunker? How did he manage to lock himself in? That question we don't know, but like I said, I don't think people actually lived here. It was just a town built for nuclear testing during the 1950s and 60s as tensions were rising during the Cold War. But that still doesn't answer the question as to why Mason and Woods' names are on these mailboxes. It could be just a cool little Easter egg by Treyarch, just a reference to them in game. We know that they are clearly the most popular and well-known characters, so it could mean nothing just from the fact that it's an Easter egg referencing them. We do know that Alex Mason was a CIA operative and a retired Marine Force recon captain, and then Woods served as a US Marine Corps, where he was eventually recruited by the CIA for their Special Activities Division. So both Woods and Mason worked for the CIA, which doesn't really have anything to do, in my opinion, with this nuclear testing facility, and that doesn't lead us any closer to the answer as to why their names could be here. Like I said, I think it's just an Easter egg, just a cool reference to them, but let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments section below. So the next question, and I kind of answered this in a previous Q&A, but I couldn't give you guys an answer, and since then, I've seen a lot of people telling me what could actually be going on. So for that reason, I want to bring it up again, and actually, well, hopefully give you guys a proper answer. Now, the question before was, why doesn't Eddie have a German accent? We know that Richthofen is German, and Eddie is a child version of him, so why doesn't Eddie have a German accent? And Jeff Stark 31 says, I don't think child Eddie's accent really matters. It was probably just overlooked, but if Eddie grows up and still doesn't have an accent, then it will matter because you can't just overlook that. But the question I actually want to answer is, why doesn't Eddie have a German accent? Why does he sound more American? And like I just said, a lot of people have explained to me as to why this could be the case.
I told you before, their eyes should be blue. It's my turn, Eddie. I can do whatever I want.
But you don't even know how to play properly. Girls don't know enough about zombies.
So we know that Richtofen collected Eddie's soul from Dimension 2210. He went to that dimension and collected an innocent version of Eddie's soul. He trapped it inside of the summoning key and then took it to Dr. Monty, where Monty took that soul and then made him into a child. And the result was Eddie we see in the house. So if Eddie is just an innocent version of Richtofen, why don't they have the same accent? Well, we can see that Eddie is a child, whereas Richtofen is a fully grown adult. We know that Samantha in game was about 9 or 10 during the recent release, so I would guess she's about 9 or 10 in the house. Eddie is more than likely the same age, so he's still a child. And we develop our accent during our childhood. So whilst Eddie is still a child, he's still developing his accent. And the same goes for Samantha, she doesn't have a German accent either. You typically develop your accent during your childhood, and then by the time you're a teenager, it's pretty well ingrained. And that could answer your question. An accent is something you learn as a child, and since Eddie and Samantha are still children, they are not growing up in Germany, they are not growing up with their parents who would be German. The community around them in the house, obviously it isn't in Germany, it is in Monty's perfect universe, and so it seems they haven't developed their German accent, which is why they sound how they do, just normal. They kind of have a similar accent to Dr. Monty, maybe because they've grown up around him, or he is the one that turned them into their child form. So there we go, that could be the answer. The reason they don't have an accent is because they haven't grown up in Germany, so they haven't had time to develop it. Again, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. The next question from Chris says, why does Takeo talk so much about the Emperor? So Takeo a long time ago was a Japanese soldier who fought for the Imperial Japanese Army. And obviously his leader was the Emperor. Being Japanese, I think like a lot of people, they respect their emperor, and that's exactly what Takeo did. But Takeo worshipped the emperor more than anyone else because he was recruited by him. Takeo became the emperor's loyal servant, and so he, well, loved him, he worshipped him, he looked up to him as a god. Takeo would only ever speak good things about the emperor. That's why he talks so much about him. And as we know, Takeo loved him so much he was blinded by his own loyalty. And we learned that in Zetsubou no Shima, where the Emperor betrayed Takeo. The Emperor told Division 9 to capture Takeo, lock him up and use him as an experiment. And that's what they did. And even then, in the Zetsubou no Shima ending, when we see Takeo come face to face with his older version, he still doesn't realize that the Emperor was the one who betrayed him. And finally, when the old version of Takeo tells the younger version of him that it was the Emperor that did all of this, you can clearly see from the cutscene that Takeo couldn't believe that the Emperor would do that to him. So hopefully that answers your question. The next question from Trippin' Trill Music says, do you eat at... what? Zach the Trooper 1 says, hey BOA, what is your favourite zombies mode out of World at War and the Black Ops trilogy? It's honestly really difficult because each game has a really good zombies map that I could like. I mean, out of each and every game I could pick one zombies map that would definitely, well, more than likely, make it into my top 5 best maps ever. World at War has Derice, Black Ops 1 has quite a few like Ascension and possibly Kino der Toten. Black Ops 2 then of course has Mob of the Dead and Origins, and then Black Ops 3 has Der Eisendrache. Honestly, I really like Shadows of Evil. So each game has a map that I would probably put into my top 5. But simply because Black Ops 2 has 2 of the best, in my opinion, Mob of the Dead and Origins, I would have to say that was probably my favourite zombies. I really did like Black Ops 1, but because of maps like Shangri-La I wasn't too keen on playing. Interesting story, but in terms of gameplay. And then Moon I wasn't particularly keen on gameplay, and also Call of the Dead. Black Ops 1 was good, but I have to say I think the best zombies game mode was Black Ops 2. It was just a massive change from World at War and Black Ops 1. The story got a lot more interesting. We had a lot more characters introduced. There was new gameplay features, buildables, interesting, some good and not so good wonder weapons. But I think Black Ops 2 was the best that we've had so far. Black Ops 3 was awesome, but I don't know, there was just something different about Black Ops 2, and since it contains my all-time favourite map, Mob of the Dead, I can't say that I don't think that was the best. But let me know in the comments section below, which one would you guys pick if you could only play one forever? But anyway, there we go. That is it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you have all enjoyed. If you have, as always, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel, and also click the notification icon next to it as well. If you want to see some more zombies Q&As on the channel, leave some comments that you have in the comment section below. They can be to do with zombies, the campaign, whatever you want. Like I said, I know World War II Zombies is out, but you guys seem to be loving the Black Ops videos from the older zombies, so if you want more, let me know by dropping a like rating. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.